Hey everybody, welcome back. Part two with Scott. Super excited. How we doing, Sam?
Yeah, no, doing great. So yeah, we have Scott on. We're about to get more in depth. Scott is a retired lieutenant colonel from the Air Force. He has a background in wholesaling. He has recently started his career as a mortgage loan originator. So we're definitely interested now in hearing about Scott's life today and what his plan is for these next 10 years. I know for sure he is definitely looking for new clients that he can help you out with all of your loan origination needs. So definitely give him a shout. He'll give his contact info at the end of the show, so that way you can reach out to him. But yeah, let's we'll go ahead and get into it. Start hearing about life today.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what's happening right now, Scott.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I got my loan originator license recently. Yeah, I'm just working through that. I joined another coaching program. That one's called Mortgage Marketing Animals. And they got something called the Daily Success Plan. So Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, you're basically calling realtors. So you're trying to get new referral partners. So Mondays, you're reaching out to realtors. Tuesdays, you're trying to get. So that's like a file update day. So you're calling, everybody that you have like under escrow. So let's say you're working with a realtor, and you got one of your clients is under contract. So every Tuesday, you call everybody in the file. So like the listing agent, insurance, title company, and they teach you to ask for the referrals every time. So, do you have any friends, family, or coworkers that are looking to buy or sell in the next 6 months? And then Wednesdays, typically you have like a large database. Wednesdays, you're calling through your database, asking the same thing. You got your family, friends, or coworkers. Thursdays is the pre-approved and looking, anybody that you've pre-approved and they're currently working with the realtor, look for houses, you call those guys. So that's what I'm doing, just trying to build up my referral partner base. And I've got a couple partners already, so they're sending me transactions, sending me clients, and so I'm just working with them right now. Most of those clients have been in the Tampa area.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what all kind of loans is it you do? I'm assuming your regular residential home loans, but then do you guys offer like DSCR loans, commercial loans, anything like that?
Yeah. So I work for a broker, and so we have access to like something like 150 different lenders, and any product you can think of, I can do it. So yeah, DSCR. Down payment assistance, jumbo, VA, conventional, FHA, USDA.
Construction loans, like different hard money loans, or like different types of things to get money for rehabs and flips. A lot of people that are listening to the show, they kind of like those types of products too.
Exactly. Yeah. So the hard money loans, we typically just refer them out to a hard money lender.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, I can't make a lot of money. I make like $500 or something if I originate it and do a hard money. So I just say, hey, just, save your money and here, this is a good hard money lender.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. No, that's great. So,
well, I was going to just say, to highlight that too. One of the things I always tell anyone new in real estate or who lacks knowledge, real estate, that you really, before you, like, one of the first things people should do when they get started is talk to a lender, because there are so many different kinds of loan products out there that a lot of people just don't even realize that they're different ones. Like, a lot of people think of a mortgage is a mortgage. It's 30 years. It's, they think that's like the only loan that exists, not realizing like, no, they have 15-year loans. They have 30-year loans. They got 40 that you can play interest only for 10 years. They have, like I said, there's so many varieties. You can get 5-year arms. So like what What is it like that you end up you suggest, like, someone who's like new looking at real estate, that they talk to a lender before they go in too deep, so that way they kind of know what it is they're capable of closing on themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really beneficial when you're working with a realtor too. Um, I'm assuming that this is for a house that they're going to live in. So you really need to get pre-approved first to make sure that you can even buy a house. You don't want to be like searching for a house and working with a realtor and come to find out, you put an offer down and get accepted, and you pay for an inspection and an appraisal, and then you start applying for a loan, and your credit score is crap, or you don't have enough income or something like that, and then you can't buy the house, and you just wasted everybody's time.
Yeah, it's disappointing to those home buyers too. So, hot topic right now. Can we talk a little bit about terms versus everyone really honing in on interest rates just continually rising? I know that a lot of typical first-time home buyers are like really, really focused on that interest rate, but a lot of times, you can work things through terms and might have a higher interest rate, but your payment or what your long-term financial plans, it works a lot better based off of the terms that the lender is offering. Do you ever kind of educate your clients that way? And I know that our listeners are super excited to learn more on that.
Yeah, definitely. There's an affordability crisis right now. So because of the high rates, the payments are just a lot. It's actually more to or less to rent than to pay for a mortgage right now in most places. And but there's several programs that most lenders offer, and a couple of those are buy downs. So there's like a temporary rate buy down, and then there's a permanent rate buy down. And you can pay for those buy downs through seller concessions. So it's a buyer's market right now, and a lot of sellers, they need to sell, so they're paying for closing costs. And with a temporary buy down, you can, let's say the interest rate is 6%, you can actually buy it all the way down to 3% for the first year.
Wow.
What does it normally cost that per point you want to buy down? Is that how it works?
So per point, it depends on kind of the lender you're going with, but the traditional amount is if you pay 1 point, which is 1% of the loan, then you're able to buy down the rate 20.25%, so a quarter point. So that's the standard. With a rate buy down, you can. So that would be like a permanent rate buy down. The temporary rate buy down is like, I'd have to, I just put it in the calculator, so it comes out to. It comes out to like $10,000, $14,000, or something like that.
Now with buy downs, just to kind of educate, because I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh wow, you can do that. Why would you not do that? So I have a little bit of experience, in this, because I know there's usually you got to kind of look at the numbers and see. So I know whenever you do a buy down, usually it's kind of like you have your break even year at year 3, 4 or 5, depending on how far you bought it down, as far as getting the reward of the lower interest rate payments for that period of time. If someone bought the rate down, let's just say they bought it down about 2 points. What do you think would be the typical amount of time they would be into their mortgage before they're at that break even point, where paying that extra money in the mortgage up front now is saving them on a monthly basis?
Yeah. Again, I'd probably have to put it in a calculator, but I know it's like VA loans, this is kind of similar to your question. Yeah. You can refinance, and it's like a streamlined refinance if you have a VA loan, and the VA won't let you do it unless if the interest rate is half a point less, and you can recoup those loan costs, those refinancing costs within 36 months.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So 3 years. So that's
Yeah.
probably similar to what your question is. I would say like, yeah, around 3 years, but I mean, it depends, you know.
No, that makes sense. And then I know you mentioned down payment assistance, and I've never personally utilized that or anything. So how does like a down payment assistance loan work? Because I'm assuming this would make it where someone can basically take a home, no money down.
Yeah. VA loans is a 0% down. That's not really considered a down payment assistance program. Mm-hmm. So if somebody wants to look into it, I've never done one though. But each state has like down payment assistance programs. I would say if that's something you need, because most of those programs also pay for your closing costs. So like there's one in Florida, I think it's for veterans and first responders, so like law enforcement and firemen and stuff like that. And I saw the other day, they'll pay, if you get approved, $35,000 towards down payment and closing costs.
Wow, that's pretty big. I mean, and that's actually, man, definitely want to read this. So 35,000 against closing costs in Florida for people that are, I guess it was like a first responders kind of down payment assistance program.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a really cool program. Because I mean, yeah, those people. I mean, we need those people in our communities, yeah. And it's definitely great to have those kind of people vested in the community, like through home ownership. So that way, they're there to stay, for a lifetime. So no, I love hearing that kind of thing is offered.
Yeah, I didn't even. And do you know the name of that product?
Oh man, I think it's like Homes for Heroes or something like that.
Very cool. And there's a similar product for teachers too, right? Like in public, like public service, people that work in city government and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, man. There's so many. Like I searched for down payment assistance programs in Florida, and there was like 10 different programs.
Holy cow! Okay, we're definitely going to look at that and put some stuff in the show notes.
And then just to kind of echo what Scott just said, and to go back to my point earlier, this is why you want to talk to a lender, when you start, looking and thinking about buying real estate, because they'll be familiar with what kind of down payment assistance loans are available based on what kind of career you're in, and can really help you, maximize everything. Because like I said, there's just so many different kind of lending products available to different kinds of people, different backgrounds, that, you really need to talk to, a licensed lender like Scott to know how to, really utilize them and, get the most bang for your buck when you're looking at buying real estate.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Scott, if you're okay with it, I'm going to kind of backpedal a little bit back to where we were ending that last episode, kind of igniting the fire into a lot of people that are interested in getting into real estate. Since you've stepped in multiple facets of it, being a realtor, having success, wholesaling, having lots of success, even scaling, and then now getting in as a loan officer. Tell us a little bit about the similarities of kind of being the serial entrepreneur, kind of go-getter, and how that's helped each business. And then let's kind of take a deep dive into the business operations of all three.
Yeah, I think you have to have the right mindset to start with. You have to have the desire to. So there's all kinds of book recommendations I can give. So like How to Win Friends and Influence People, and Dale Carnegie's, or not Dale Carnegie's, what's that one called? How to Think and Grow Rich, that talks about desire.
Napoleon Hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Napoleon Hill. And, I think it just starts with, wanting to grow and be better. And I think, I realized, so I was going way back before I was in real estate. I was a big like video game player, and I played a ton of World of Warcraft. And I was playing that thing like hours and hours, and eventually I was just like, what am I doing with my life? And I was like, I gotta got to do something more. So, I quit playing and, started really like learning about business and finances and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, to be successful in all that, I think it just starts with like, just wanting to better yourself, I guess.
And I think you bring up a good point there, and a point that a lot of people can relate to, about having something that you really enjoy, but that can take up a lot of time. In this case, uh, playing video games. A lot of people enjoy going to the movies, watching TV, sleeping in, different types of things like that. How did you get that mindset shift? Because I know you were probably, it was something you enjoyed. You did it a lot. So it's something that you created as a habit, and also something that you enjoy doing. You probably were like, oh, I'm excited to take on this next quest, or to hop on with some of my friends. What was it that allowed you to kind of extract yourself from that?
I think one of the big reasons was I realized that my W-2 income, Air Force income, just wasn't going to be enough to get me the things that I wanted out of in life. Material things. I want a boat, a nice fishing boat, and boats are expensive. And I want to travel. I want to have financial freedom. And I just realized at one point that, keep working for the Air Force and, it was great money. But it just wasn't enough to feel, like I've made it, I now have financial freedom. And then I also didn't want to like do what, most people do after the military, is go back into government service. That to me was just like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Just sitting behind a desk, 8 hours a day is just, it wears on you after 20 years.
Sure.
I can imagine.
Sure. So as we find that mindset shift, that desire, now getting into those businesses, what kind of set you apart or allowed you to dive into real estate? I know you said you were doing it part-time, but I know you were successful in that, which then led you to wholesaling, and now into lending. So kind of take us through, some of those first steps. I loved the operations of how you kind of described in the last episode of joining a wholesaling mastermind. And then you just gave us some great insight here of joining Mortgage Marketing Animals, and kind of how your days look like with those operations. So if you just kind of want to give the listeners a little bit of a breakdown of each business that you've kind of owned and operated.
Sure. So the first one was wholesaling. And I think, kind of related to your last question too. One thing is just, I've always been like hungry for knowledge. So I love like learning new things. I love being, or at least thinking like I'm trying to be an expert in something. And so, when I first joined the wholesaling coaching program, I really just jumped right into it. I learned as much as I could. And, I was doing that at night, after I got home from work. And, I think that's what it takes. If you want to kind of, make that life for yourself, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of like effort and sacrifice. You're not going to be able to play those video games every day and on the weekend and stuff like that. But I think, it's also gives you like purpose. And it's really cool. Like just the thought of like being able to make progress every single day. So that kind of what motivates me is, even though let's say I had only got like a couple things accomplished that day. At least I got something accomplished. So going back to wholesaling, you want me to just like dive into operations? Is that kind
Sure.
of?
And you were saying how you kind of scaled. I know that's probably something that a lot of wholesalers that are listening right now might be battling. Like, am I going to keep running this operation as a solopreneur, or how do I dive into scalability?
Right, and you have definitely go into that, because I know, like I said, it was after you scaled, it was kind of when you kind of got burnt out. And there is an old saying, keep it small and keep it all. So definitely, see, and we've met wholesalers that do it all themselves. So all they need to do is close like 2 deals a month, and they're golden because they have no overhead other than paying themselves. And then we've had someone like Colby Nellums, for example, who was on our show in the past. That guy is a machine as far as like how many he does, but he also has like I think a minimum monthly overhead he has to cover. So I mean, I think he has to close 2 deals a month just to kind of break even on everything he's putting out. So there's definitely levels to it. But yeah, tell us about kind of like how you set yours up.
Okay. Yeah, I think when I was just doing it myself, I probably made more money than when I had people on board. I tried to like have them, do the work, and then I would just work on the business and not in the business. But I don't know. Maybe when I took myself out of the operations was kind of like where I messed up. Maybe I should have just stayed in the operations, because not saying that I can always do it better than anybody else, but maybe that's kind of why I lost the desire to keep going, because I wasn't really doing the work. But yeah, like they teach you the program teaches you to have like a runway. So try to figure out how much your monthly expenses are going to be before you get like one deal, and how much, so all your marketing. So let's say you're going to spend $5,000 in postcards or something. Well, save up 6 months of expenses, so $30,000, and just keep going. Eventually you're going to get a deal in those 6 months. Thankfully I got a deal like in my first week. It was pretty crazy. First phone call, first appointment, first everything. And
that's probably really lit the fire under you, thinking like, oh man, this is easy.
Yeah. And I made $19,000 on that deal, and
that's awesome.
I looked at the how much he sold it for after he rehabbed it. He made like over $100,000.
Wow.
Well, shit! I should have made. I should have charged him more.
Yeah, I should charge him more.
Right, man. But that's that's cool. That is cool though. That I mean, you made some quick change, not having to do anything. Really, other than get it back listed. Then I mean, then your person who bought it and flipped it. I mean, he really won. I mean, that's I mean, definitely probably could charge a little bit more, but I'm sure that guy was also ready to keep buying deals from you.
Yeah, you win from that. He wants to buy more deals.
I didn't have a big buyer list at that time, so he was like the only person who called. So, what am I going to do?
Right.
No, that's awesome.
So what's next? Go ahead.
I was just going to continue on. Like, I hired a like an admin assistant who was also doing some cold calling. She was pretty good. She lived in the Philippines. I was paying her $6 an hour, and she spoke like really good English. She would do the follow-ups. She would answer the phone when it rang, and my main marketing channel was postcards, so direct mail. I also had her pulling like new records off the counties, so she was cold calling them. So got a few deals out of that. And then
I think that's a good one. If you want to talk a little bit about to the listeners outside of, paying for direct marketing and things like that, how you can pull those record searches online and kind of develop leads there. I think that's a good spot.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I personally think that's where you're gonna win over the big guys. So I've found out that by the time a pre-foreclosure or a probate or whatever hits, prop stream or batch leads, it's like 7 to 10 days after it actually shows up in the county records.
Okay.
So, you can be the very first person to give that person a call. And, if you're first to market, most of the time, if they're that motivated, they're going to sell it.
Are you doing this like on list pendants lists, or you're just going to auctions that are in the coming months and calling them, or is that too late? Just for some insight for listeners.
No, I wanted to be the very first. I wanted to get them at the very first sign of trouble. So it was, the Liz Pendens. Whenever a new Liz Pendens would show up, I had my VA pulling records every single day. And so oftentimes the very same day that Liz Pendens showed up in the county record is when she would call them.
Awesome.
I did probates. I had her going on like obituary sites. And so she would find the person who died and then skip trace it. Well, go to the property appraiser's website first to make sure there was that person owned a house, and then skip trace that person, and then give them a call.
Oh, those are all really great insights, I think.
Yeah. Obituaries.
Yeah, definitely. So now transitioning a little into loan origination. You gave us kind of a little bit of a breakdown for the mortgage marketing animals, and kind of give us an insight on why you made that change, why you like that business. I know you mentioned in the last you did a skill bridge transition, and you were working with Expert Home Lending. You just liked that experience, and that's why you went full steam ahead, or what kind of entered you into that transition? And like, you're not doing any wholesaling now anymore, right? You're just all in on lending. Yeah.
No, I mean, I still got that sticker on the back of my car, so I get a phone call once in a while. Yeah, man. So what I love about being an LO, a loan originator, is I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to drive, show houses. I don't have to, show up to a seller's house and, step through dog poop and cat urine all over the place. And just, like, why am I doing here? Is this guy going to kill me? I've thought about like, maybe I should start bringing a gun. So with the, being a loan officer, I can just stay right here. I can bring my laptop to a restaurant or a coffee place and just work from there. And I also see the potential, the income potential. If you're working for a broker, you're getting like a bigger like percentage, a bigger commission than if you worked for like a retail bank, like Bank of America or Rocket Mortgage or something like that. So, it's not hard to make like, $1 million in gross commissions. In my position, I think I think I could probably be there in a couple of years.
Awesome.
That's
$1 million. Tell the listeners a little bit like what that entails and why you kind of word it of saying it's not that difficult to kind of break something that most people think is unattainable. Because
I think so this is my own like theory. It's obviously about leads, right? The more leads, the more deals you're going to close.
Sure.
With wholesaling, it's really hard to get your phone to ring. Like I could send out 10,000 postcards a month, and the response rate could be like 0.1% or something like that. So I can just get like a few phone calls a month. With loan origination, I have this tool called Retter, RETR, and I can see, like, so I'm just licensed in Florida right now, so I can see every single agent in Florida that is like doing business, right? So I can filter by how many loans they've closed or how many deals they've closed, like in the past 12 months or 6 months. And so those are like quality leads. All I have to do is call them and like tell them why they should work with me. And if, a lot of them already have a lender, but, some of them don't, or some of them don't like their lender. It's just, that person is there. It's like a seller that I know that person is that person I want to go to. I know that they have, I guess, the business. So I just need to convince enough of those people to send me clients.
I think that's a golden nugget right there. A lot of times we have golden nuggets on the show, and so we'll put a link to the description down for. You said RETR, Redder.
Yeah, RETR.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think that's huge insight there.
No, definitely,
and that's applicable for really. If you're an aspiring realtor or something, you want to join the right team, kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Like I think that's cross-functional. So
it's not about passing it on to my. So I'm an EXP, so it's a big like revenue share, one of those revenue share companies, and so if you want to like try to recruit top agents, that is like the perfect system to go to, because you can see agents and loan officers on there. So
wow, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, now that we know that your goal is to hit a million in gross commissions, what's the next 12 months look like to help you get there?
So I made my 2025 goals. So as far as business goals, it's a little aggressive, but I don't know if I'll do it, but I threw that number out there. So I'd like to do 100 loans this year.
Awesome. Nice.
So it's a nice round number. And actually, I think I put 101. So why not put one more extra on top of 100?
I love it.
One more rep. And then, so either 100 or $600,000 in gross commission. So whichever one's less. As far as business stuff, that's what my goal is this year.
That's awesome.
And this is, and we want to remind everyone, this is your first year outside of like that transitionary time at SkillBridge with Expert Home Lending, but this is your first year being a loan originator, and you're setting goals above $500,000 in revenue.
His Air Force retirement party was like a month ago.
Right.
So,
oh my gosh. No,
if there's any loan officers listening to this, they're like, yeah, right. There's no way he's going to do 100. But they're probably right. But hey, whatever.
Hey, you have the goal. You're speaking it into existence. You're having people keep you accountable.
You got that mastermind that gave you daily step plans on things to do every single day to accomplish it. So
yeah, I'm following up on it. I think you're going to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah. If you don't put it out to the universe, then you're never going to get it.
Now you're still with Expert Home Lending, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. So what's the lifetime goal? We got your 2025 goals. I love them. 101 loans. It's awesome. But what's like the life goal, the end goal? We know you want a boat. So that's probably not there. But what's it all for Scott?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this. So probably this goal came to me during a Tony Robbins event, and it just seemed like a nice round number. And actually, I think I put some thought into it. Like like how much a boat is going to cost, like the boat payment and a nice car payment and a housing payment. And I came up with a number of $50,000 a month in passive income.
Awesome.
So I have that. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I carry it in my wallet. And so 50,000. So my goal is 50,000 in active income to start off. And as my, once I get to that, as I'm getting to it, I'm going to be investing in more passive assets. And it's another whole nother topic. I joined also a commercial real estate syndication mastermind. So once I get my active income up, so I'm going to start transitioning to like buying things like RV parks and mobile home parks to get my passive income up. So then that goal slowly transitions from 50 active income to 50 passive income. So my ultimate goal is 50K in passive income from, mostly real estate. And then, once that happens, and, I think I've attained financial freedom. So, I'm really into things like conservation, fishing, and ocean conservation. I think if marine biology paid a ton of money, I'd be a marine biologist right now. I love the ocean. I love the water. I love boating. I love, being in the ocean. So that's probably
basically when we learn our dream jobs don't always pay what we want them to pay.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'd like to do eventually. Once I have that income and freedom, is focus on conservation.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sweet.
Well, man, before we wrap up, I know you dropped a couple books on us before, but just kind of give you because I know like through the 75 hard process, you're getting lots of good reading in. Do you have any more you want to leave our listeners with? And I'll reiterate that this doesn't all have to be about real estate, because so much of success in real estate or success of anything is about mindset too. So
mindset, desire.
Yeah. So what and you also mentioned you're a Tony Robbins fan. So what are maybe one or two more great books you recommend that really would help someone become successful like you?
Yeah. I know, pretty much every person has probably read this, and so many people, recommend it. But my very first book that kind of like was the catalyst, I would say, in, getting my mindset to focus on business and entrepreneurship is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book was amazing. Another one is another Dale Carnegie, actually two Dale Carnegie books, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And another lesser known book is called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So my whole life I've had like kind of bad to like not so bad anxiety. So, like public speaking is probably my worst anxiety. So, it's worry, I guess, is just the whole term for anxiety.
Yeah, I said,
I know.
Podcast.
I know. This is one of my ways to grow.
Definitely.
Get past my fear.
No, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. It seems like you're on podcasts all the time. This has been awesome, back and forth. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed it. Any other books that you really recommend?
Oh man, I could name like 100 books. Right now I'm reading Alex Hormozi's books. I just finished $100 Million Offers. Amazing. I've already incorporated a lot of the lessons into that. And then $100 Million Leads I'm reading right now. Man, there's so many like sales books. I really like Jeb Blount's sales books. One's Fanatical Prospecting. The other one's like Sales EQ. The Go Giver, Atomic Habits. I mean, I don't know. I could probably like send you guys my book.
Yeah, those are great.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Sales EQ is definitely something I want to check out. And then I've actually had the Go Giver recommended before, but I haven't read it yet myself.
Me either. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one
out. That was definitely gonna be one I'm gonna check out. But now, Scott, man, we appreciate you giving us your time today. Like I said in the beginning of this, there's so many people that join our military and then retire from our military, or transition out, and like I said, a lot of people look for what's next in life, and like I said, I think you showcased people today some very viable options as far as different things people can be doing in real estate, whether it's being an actual realtor, going into wholesaling, or doing what you're doing now as being a loan originator, where I feel like you definitely can help the most people. If someone wanted to get in touch with you today, and keep in mind, Scott is currently licensed in the state of Florida, but I'm sure he can refer you to if you're in any of the 50 states, but specifically Florida right now, he can definitely help you out. What's a good place for people to reach you, so that way you can give them a loan quote on what they're currently looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we could put my application,
phone number, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of giving you my application link, put it in the notes, but my email is carlinscottm@gmail.com. So CarlinsCottm as in Mike @gmail.com. And just go ahead and give out my cell phone number. It's 321-361-9916.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Facebook, type in Scott Carlin. That's I'm also on LinkedIn. I don't do much on Instagram or anything else. So Facebook and LinkedIn is probably the one,
That's great. Yeah, we'll definitely after the show, send us your link, and we'll definitely share that with the episode. But I mean, the man just left his phone number, so I definitely would suggest you give him a call and get a loan quote from him, especially if you're in the state of Florida, because like I said, he can help you in the entire state. He's currently based near Tampa, but like I said, he's familiar with the whole Emerald Coast and everything else, since he used to be stationed in this area, so he can help you anywhere. We highly recommend Scott. Help him get there to that $1 million a year. You can be one of part of that. We definitely, like I said, we want to see him thrive in this new career that he's been doing for several months. Because it sounds like he's putting the work and setting himself up for success like he has in the past.
Definitely. Where are they going to find you, Sam?
Yeah, so the best place to go check us out is at the EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. But if you want to talk to me specifically, my Instagram is Sam_FloridaMan. I check it all the time, so feel free to shoot me a DM if you're looking at a deal. Will and I are currently trying to acquire as many buildable lots as we can in the Escambia County area. So if you're in Escambia County, Florida, and you have any lots available that are buildable being keyword, we definitely look at a lot of lots that people send us that have different things that make them not buildable.
Sure.
But yeah, we're definitely down to look at any lots. Like I said, we're interested in acquiring those for ourselves, but we also love helping other people do their deals. So if everyone has a deal that they're looking at that just wants a second opinion on numbers, we'll check it out for you. No charge on that. And if you're interested in bringing Will and me into the deal, we're always interested, as long as there's some meat on the bone for all of us, so we can all eat. We're definitely down to partake in any kind of deals. So Will, where's the best place to reach you?
Yeah, same, EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. You can find us on Instagram as well. REIFL.WMcClelland. And just this was awesome, informative, really exciting. Another episode early in the year that just can get people excited again, trying new things, just having that right mindset. So Scott, thanks so much. And we're just going to end with, if someone wanted to do what you're doing, what's some advice? If they wanted to start today, what's some advice you give them?
Man, I gotta say, find someone, either a mentor or a coaching program. I paid to play. So if you got the money, I would definitely recommend, finding a coaching program in the niche that you want to focus on. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the best way to get and meet your goals as fast as possible.
Awesome. Fantastic advice. Advice that Scott has showcased to us, that he has followed himself.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend that as well. Because like I said, I mean, I do think that's the key to success. Why learn something from scratch when you got someone that can give you a little bit of upfront knowledge and tell you how to do it, so you can avoid opening up the wrong doors. So.
Yeah.
Scott, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's been another great episode of the Elite Real Estate Podcast. Well, we hope a lot of people reach out to you about their loans this year to help you reach your goals. And we're excited to keep following you on your journey. So we appreciate you coming on.
Cool, man. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks so much.
And we appreciate all our listeners for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week on the Elite Real Estate Podcast. Thank you for listening.